Good day, everyone. I am Jerome Olgorka, your presenter for today. So, for today's topic, we are going to discuss the major art movements during the 18th and 19th century for our art appreciation subject. We are the Group D, which we will be discussing different art movements during the 18th and 19th century. Listen up and let's look at the slides. First, we have the Rococo or early 18th century. First, yung Rococo po ay nag-originate in Paris during the 18th century. It is characterized by lightness, elegance, and exuberant use of curving natural forms in ornamentation. The word rococo is derived from the French word rocaille, which denoted the shell-covered rock work that was used to decorate artificial grottos. So, during the 18th century, which is originated in Paris, yung rococo, it is characterized, yung art movement niya is characterized by lightness of the painting, the elegance, and exuberant use of curving natural forms in ornamentation. In simple terms, Rococo, which means it is simple but elegant. It has light, but it has significant meaning on its paintings and its arts. So let's look at the other century during the 18th century. This is the shift to a new era. By the early 700s and towards the end of Louis XVI reign, a new shift in art occurred. French art adhered rigidly and seriously to classicism and the grand manner, under the influence of Poussin for a period of approximately 50 years. It was after Louis XIV's death in 1715 that artists turned away from this heavy formal approach. The change gave birth to Rococo. Ayan. Now, what is Rococo? An art and design style characterized by first, lightness, elegance, soft pastel colors, grace and movement, playful and flirtation, intimate personal scenes. It started in France and spread across Europe, especially Germany and Austria. The word rococo derives from rocaille, again, referring to the shell cover rock decorations used in fancy grottos. Now, next. But why did the rococo happen? A reaction against Louis XIV's heavy format style and the grand seriousness of Baroque art. After the king's death, the aristocracy left Versailles and returned to Paris. They preferred comfort, pleasure, and elegance rather than strict rules. This created a new structure of leisure, romance, luxury, social gatherings, and beautiful interiors. Now, let's look at the life of aristocracy. It is extremely wealthy and powerful. He owned over 90% of wealth, enjoyed parties, salons, romantic affairs, and entertainment. Also, the aristocracy loved fashion, music, art, and all things beautiful. Their carefree life was from the life of common people, pointing to social tensions that would shortly lead to the French Revolution in 1789. Now, let's look at the characteristics of Rococo painting. Again, it is light-hearted but romantic themes. It has playful and sensual storytelling. It is soft, pastel colors, pinks, greens, and light blues. It is elegant, delicate brushwork, and has an outdoor garden scenes. Now, let's look at the major Rococo works. First, from Francois Boucher, which is the Triumph of Venus in 1740. It is a methodological scene full of movement and sensuality. Venus surrounded by nymphs, tritons, and playful putti or cherubs. It has soft pink tones and swirling fabrics, demonstrate Rococo's playful and dreamy energy. Next is the John Francois de Troyes, which is the Declaration of Love in 1731. It is a romantic, appealing scene set outdoors. A man presents a corsage to a lady while others look on. Women wear bright flower dresses, men softly blend into the background. And it has a perfect example of Rococo's elegance and sweetness. Next is from the Thomas Gainsborough, which is The Blue Boy in 1770. It is not French, yet related to the Rococo style. A young boy dressed in an elaborate blue outfit, standing confidently against a looser, natural background, known for a beautiful use of cool tones and fine detail. Next is John Honor Fragonard, which is the Swing 1767. Among the most famous Rococo paintings, an older woman on swing while her lover secretly watches from below. While she swings, her skirt lifts, symbolizing flirtation and pleasure. Smothered in green and pastel colors, painful, suggestion filled, and full of movement, exactly what Rococo is known for. Next up is the Neoclassicism. Neoclassicism arose partly as a reaction against the sensuous and frivolous decorative Rococo style that had dominated European art from 1720s on. Neoclassicism is the art in an aesthetic attitude based on the art of Greece and Rome in antiquity, which involves harmony, clarity, restraint, versatility, and idealism. Some example of this is some key pieces in its art include The Death of General Wolfe in 770 by Benjamin West, Angelica Kaufman Cornelia, the mother of the Gracchi, 1785, and the John Lugo David Oath of Hority in 1784. Now, the dramatic, emotional, and theatrical style. It has strong contrasts of light and shadow, the grandeur and ornate details in painting, sculpture, and architecture. Example of this are Caravaggio, The Calling of Saint Matthew, Peter Paul Rubens, dynamic, energetic paintings, and the Saint Peter Basilica of Rome, which has an architectural masterpiece. Next up is Romanticism. It features emphasis on emotion, imagination, and individualism. It focuses on nature, nationalism, and dramatic scenes, and has a reaction against the order and rationality of neoclassicism. Example of these are Eugene Delacroix, Liberty Leading the People, Francisco Goya, the 3rd of May 1808, and Francois Rude Lemarciel sculpture. Next up is realism art. It features focus on everyday life and ordinary people. Show the truth without idealization. It has subjects often include workers and social issues. Example of these are Gustave Courbet, The Stonebreakers, View of Ornans, John Francois Millet, The Gleaners, The Angelus, and Honore Daumier, The Third Class Courage. Next is Impressionism. It features quick brushstrokes that captured light and movement, focus on everyday scenes, landscape, and leisures. Paint outdoors to capture natural light. Example of this is Claude Monet Impression Sunrise, gave movement its name, Water Lilies. Renoir, Dance of the Lemon, de la Galette. Edgar Degas, the ballet class, focus on dancers. Next is post-impressionism. It features built on impressionism but with more emotion, symbolism, and structure. Bold, vibrant colors, and excessive brush strokes. Example of this are Vincent van Gogh's Starry Night and Sunflowers, Paul Cézanne, Mont Saint Victor, and Paul Gauguin, Where Do We Came From? What Are We? What Are We Going? Next is modernism and or last is modernism and contemporary. Modernism features broke away from tradition, exploring new forms, materials, and ideas, emphasized experimentation, abstraction, and innovation, included multiple movements, including Cubism, Surrealism, Abstract Expressionism. It reflected the rapid social, scientific, and technological changes of the 20th century, while contemporary features highly diverse, global, and experimental explores theme of identity, politics, environment, and technology, includes new media, digital art, performance, installation, street art, conceptual art, and blends traditional and modern techniques across culture. And that's it. Thank you for listening. I hope you listen well about the art movements during the 18th and 19th century, which involves Rococo, the Impressionism, the Realism, and the different modernism and contemporary arts. I hope you learned well in this presentation. Again, we are the Group D, which composed of Nonato, Nozario, Ocampo, Mallorca, Nimir, Madueno, and Lin. Thank you so much for listening and see you soon.